chairman and Anna Klimas member. During the meeting, all votes of the board will be taken as a roll call vote. The following staff are here from the Bridgewater is Jen, can I just say Burke because I can't remember how
Sure, that's fine.
Jen Burke and it's Nicole Slavo. We also have, is Steve with us tonight?
I am
He is,
here.
okay.
Yep, I'm sorry.
Steve Solari, building commissioner.
No video tonight, I guess.
All right. All right, at this time, everybody's mic is muted. The board's mics will be unmuted throughout the whole meeting, and all items appear on the agenda. The project representatives' mics will be unmuted. If the project's a public hearing and allows for public comment, we will ask that you use the chat feature to ask your questions by listing your name and address and your question. The chair will recognize all questions in order. You can also use the raise my hand feature and the participant menu, and you'll be unmuted when the chair recognizes you. Again, please state your name and address before asking your question. If you're on a phone, you can dial *9 to raise your hand. At this time, we have one request before the board tonight. It's a variance under section 8.40, so setbacks variance. At a location of 65 Auburn Street. The variance request was filed by Andrew Folsham. And so Andrew, I think I saw you earlier. Are you representing yourself tonight, or is there someone here for you?
Yes, sir. I'm here. The GC, Neil, is also on the line as well.
Okay, I've unmuted him.
Okay. So Andrew, if you would just kind of go through a little bit what you're looking to do and how you believe that the request meets our requirements to grant such a variance.
Sure, and thank you for your time this evening. I really appreciate it. So I am in the process of doing some construction at my home to put an in-law apartment in. My mother-in-law, Maureen Brady, is going to move in with us as soon as construction's complete and if this is approved. She has a couple medical issues that requires her to live on a one level dwelling. So we talked to the family and we said it's no problem. We'll go ahead and see if we can create a structure for her that will meet all her medical needs, and where myself and my wife can keep an eye on her and assist her from now until hopefully 20 years down the road. So the plans that we went over with Neil, it just encompasses all of her needs and our requests, and unfortunately that means that the structure would have to be a little bit bigger to fit all our needs. And Neil can speak more on the the design of the structure, but that's where we're coming from. That's our goal. Our goal is to create a in-law apartment to help us provide for our mother-in-law who needs a little medical assistance.
Okay. We have the plans up in front of us. I see you've added in some additional statements, understanding the 2-car garage request, normal, the 26 feet I understand is partially due to, and you can see it in the plans, the fireplace that's there. So that's going to take off a couple feet in relation to maneuverability. I also saw on the plans the slope of the land and just the configuration of the lot itself. I think as you pointed out in the statements, you know, the two-car garage, the in-law units as proposed, the 26 feet, yes, I guess it could be a little smaller, but it's you're only looking still at 600 square feet, and the in-law and the statute allows for, I believe it's 8 right now.
No. It's still 6, Mike. Brian,
Oh, it's still 6? Oh, I thought we moved that to 8.
the
We
zoning
haven't done
bylaw-
that yet.
Oh,
Yeah, and the actual addition itself, is at 588.
yeah. So the size is not an issue even with the existing, and we have historically been running on an 800 square foot.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, I look at it, I don't have a lot of questions. I've looked at all the filings. I guess, you know, really generally, personally, one of the concerns is always like your neighbors. I saw that there was one neighbor that did put in a letter of, you know, support. Would that neighbor happen if you're facing the house, the neighbor to the right of you, which would be the one more impacted than anyone, as it's reducing 3.5 feet of setback is on that side? Still, you know, with their existing houses, because of the lot configuration, there's a lot of setback even from their house to the side. Have you spoken with any of the neighbors other than, I think it was Mr. Pratt or something? And what was the general consensus of the neighbors to the proposal?
Yes, I spoke with Mr. Pratt, which his house is to the left of my house if you're facing my house.
Okay.
And I also spoke with Joe Moraney, his house is across the street from my house. I been living in Bridgewater for 10 years. The neighbor to my right, if you're looking at the house,
Yeah.
I probably spoke to them maybe 2 or 3 times. I try to be as personal as possible. I think they just do their own thing, and they like their, you know, to keep to themselves, and that's fine. We're cordial with each other, but we've probably, you know, in the last 10 years, probably spoke maybe 2 or 3 times. I've been over there to help them shovel their driveway and stuff like that, but generally they like to just hang by themselves. So I haven't spoke to them in relation to really anything lately, to be honest.
Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty.
No problem.
Jerry or Anna, do you have any questions for the applicant or?
No, that
I
was my
have a couple,
that
Mr. Chairman. First is off of the in-law unit and off of the deck, it says BR. What does that stand for?
Roy, do you want to chime in on that?
Sure. Am I
Who's Roy?
Roy Delano? Lighthouse
your rel-
Landscaping.
Your relationship to the project? We just need, for the record, we just need your identification.
Yes, Roy Delano from Lighthouse Land Surveying. We
Thank
did
you.
the survey work for the property.
Thank you.
I know that the area is a brick area that I
Yeah, that is a
believe it
brick
was used as
patio
a
there.
fire pit.
It's we just weren't sure. Generally, BR is bedroom, and we were curious as to why it was sitting out there.
So it's patio. It's patio. It's not, okay, it's patio, for lack of a better term. Now, there's a jog at the back of the garage that comes into the in-law. Could you tell me what that is, please?
That portion of the structure on the back side of the garage is a staircase that then leads down below the in-law structure for a basement storage area, or shared for both the in-law structure and for the owners of the residence as well. It's like a shared basement.
And there's no dimension there. Could you tell me what the width of that is?
Let me see. Let me actually grab my plan.
Also, Neil, is that accessible only from the garage or is that accessible from the unit itself?
It's actually accessible from the garage only.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can scroll down. I believe the plans are fully attached in here. Is there any way for you to scroll down to show that portion of the floor plan? So yeah, it's around 9 feet by, I'm gonna say 4.5 feet, that little jog in.
Am I looking at it correctly then that jog abuts the shower tub area?
Yeah, it would be a dividing wall from the garage to the in-law structure. That would be a 6-inch wall. That would be fully
okay.
insulated. That would be a dividing wall, correct?
I see. Okay, but it is accessible also from the in-law to the basement, correct?
No. So
You have to go around through the garage.
yeah, so I wanted it to be very clear that the purpose of it was, it is for use of storage for both the main house and for, the owner's mother-in-law, for both of them to use the area.
Okay.
Which I think due to medical reasons will be, what needs to be done, so.
So if I'm looking at it, I'm seeing to the left side as we're looking at it here, I'm seeing a closet door,
Yep,
and then I'm seeing a doorway that enters in,
yep.
and that doorway opens, and then you access the garage from there through a mudroom. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
what it is based on the bylaws for the town, the main house has to have a direct access into, the in-law structure. The in-law can't be detached from the main house, separated by the garage. So
Okay,
that's actually also the other reason why the 26-foot width is important, because that walkway passageway from the main house to the in-law takes up a decent amount of space inside the garage. So to keep it a 2-car garage and having one of the cars be the accessibility of the mother-in-law, we kind of needed that space for that as well.
so is there any reason that you couldn't jog the in-law 3.5 feet toward the bulkhead?
Well, if we jogged the in-law structure itself towards the bulkhead, my only concern with that would be the roof line and how that would work as you do because right now the way I have it set up is that back portion of the in-law structure comes as an A-frame overlaying over the back side of the A-frame. That's the structure over the garage. So if I shift everything over, I think it's going to end up creating a weird section where we might have to do some sort of a cricket or something to that effect in order to prevent water or snow from being a problem in that little edge corner there.
Could we just go back up, please, Nicole, to the exterior renderings to see those roof lines, please? Okay, so, okay. And up one more, please. Okay, yeah. So we're looking at the back of the in-law now
That's correct.
as it, so am I looking at it correctly that the garage roof line goes in a different direction than the in-law roof line?
That is correct.
Okay,
That is correct.
okay.
yeah.
So So could you, I've heard the term cricket and it escapes me sadly, what that is, but 3.5 feet, to me, the layman, it looks as though all you'd be doing is shifting the meeting of that. However, is there a difference because you're not meeting it at the center of the garage?
I mean, I think what would end up happening is, one, you'd end up trying to take it as close as you can, not to interfere with that bathroom window that's being shown over that bulkhead. So you'd have to get as close to that as you could. As that A-frame comes back into the main house, it would wrap around and then come up. So I think if I'm looking at it properly, where that A-frame then wraps around the left, that back corner of the existing house, we would need some sort of a cricket on the roof in order to prevent water and snow from sitting there and to flush it off.
Yeah. And as I'm looking at it now, because we have two different roof lines, I'm thinking if you look at the left side of the in-law, that eave, if you jog it in, it's going to have kind of a funky look to it too.
Well, I think it also, because you're also going to have to do the foundation.
Yeah.
Looking at it, the additional cost, and it's really as I look at it, is due to the layout of the lot itself.
Yeah. Okay, that's all my questions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much for the
Right.
information.
My only question is in regards to the basement, the shared basement. Still looking at this picture, if you're looking at the main house, is there a basement there for that in the main house area?
So the existing house has a full basement at the bottom side of the existing house. There is no connection from the main basement of the existing house to the basement that's under the in-law structure itself. There's no connecting point of those two basement sections. They're on their own.
And you're just doing a regular bulkhead in the back?
Yeah, so the bulkhead that's in the back right now that you're seeing is the existing bulkhead to the main house.
No, I meant
For the addition?
two forms of egress for the basement.
Actually, that is actually something that we actually currently don't have in here right now. Can it be added? It absolutely can.
You're not required to have two forms of egress to a basement.
Oh, okay. Huh? Learned something new tonight.
Is the in-law having separate utilities?
No, it will not. It will be all
Okay.
connected to the main house. It will have its own heating system, based on the fact that of the square footage and what would be required. But electricity and all that will still be fed back from the main house and will have its own sub panel for ease if there's any problems.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions from the board members?
No.
No, I'm all
Alright.
set.
Okay, thank you. Jen, if there's anyone that has any questions,
There
So-
is, I have two people right now in the chat that have questions. Bruce, but I don't know, Bruce, you messaged me in the chat, but it doesn't appear that you have audio that I can unmute, so don't know if you want to type your question or if you can speak.
Was he the gentleman that was connecting? It just said connecting.
I can't see people's video, so I don't know. And then he said he's on the phone. Okay, let me unmute the phone. Okay, I think is it *9 on the phone? If you hit
Yes.
*9, you should be able to unmute yourself. I think you're unmuted now.
Still muted.
Oh, no, he's still muted. Oh, that's so.
well, *9 is the raise the hand. I don't,
Yeah, what's the unmute on the phone? *6 maybe? Try *6.
There we go.
We're
There you
listening
go,
to
you're
Christmas
unmuted.
radio, but we're listening to Christmas radio.
Okay, Bruce, I think you're unmuted now.
You can hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay. No, I'm just the person who lives to the right, and I
I'm sorry, I
really
didn't hear that.
haven't talked to the people that want to make the change to their home. I just would appreciate if they'd come to me beforehand. That's all, but that's fine.
Okay. Oh, so just Bruce, if you would, just for the record, please, if you'd state your full name and your address.
My full name is Bruce Marcoux, and I live at 55 Auburn Street.
All right, thank you. And other than the comments made already, Bruce, do you have any questions or concerns?
Just the I don't know if you're aware of what happened this past summer with someone being killed in front of my home, but I would just have a warning for the people that are working in that area, that the people that come down from Curve Street to the corner, they do drive excessively fast. So they just might want to be aware of that if they in front of their home.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know
Appreciate
about
that. Thank you.
And then we have Courtney, I think it's Kogler. I'll unmute her.
Yep. Hi, this is Justin Kogler, 115 Auburn Street. Just a question, that the building doesn't actually go onto our land, correct?
that building. Which, I'm sorry,
The
Mr.
building that the in-law apartment that they are adding on, it does not go onto our land. Am I correct with that?
Correct. Yeah, it's all within their lot. What they're requesting is, there's a side setback rule in the town that requires a 20-foot setback. And due to the lot configuration right now, it's coming in at 16.5. So what they're asking for is a 3.5-foot variance from the 20-foot setback. But
Okay, so
everything
it
is
has
on their
nothing-
lot.
So it has nothing to do with like going on to anyone else's property per se?
No.
Okay,
it's-
perfect.
It's
That's my
just
only
a setback
question.
rule.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Certainly.
And if you look at the plans, you can see they're 64 feet from where they're proposed till your lot line, it looks like. If I'm
Okay.
reading
Yep, that
line
makes
correctly.
sense.
Yep.
Thank you. I don't know much about this stuff, so I was just making sure.
No,
No,
that's fine.
it's good.
Thank you.
All right, I don't see anyone else with their hand raised or in the chat, so I think we're
Okay.
good.
So at this time, if there aren't any more questions from the board, and apparently there isn't anybody left in the audience, if we get a motion to close the public comment section,
So moved.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. At this time, if someone would care to make a motion to either support or deny the variance request, looking at it, I think understanding our requirements, I looked at it as in the sense that it's a 3.5-foot variance. I'm looking at it due to the lot limitations, the configuration of the lot. And, I understand what you were asking for, Jerry, before. I think if you didn't grant it, both the property lines and the additional cost of construction, just bumping it in, I know, it's may not be huge, but it would be, in this day and age, changing all the buildings lines would be a financial burden. So that said, if anyone would care to make a motion, either Anna or Jerry, I'd appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the variance request. The questions I had were satisfied, and because of the chances of leakage, et cetera, I don't think that it causes substantial detriment to the public. And so with that said, I would like to make a motion to approve the request.
I would
Okay.
second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the motion for the 3.5-foot variance to section 8.40 has been granted. So
Thank you very much.
Jen, if you would care to go over, the
Yeah, so we have 14 days to do the decision and have it filed in the town clerk's office, and then there's a 20-day appeal period. And after that appeal period expires, if no appeals have been filed, you can record your decision and get your building permit. So it's approximately 30 days before you can get your building permit at this point. But you'll get notice when the decision is filed in the office of the town clerk, and on the bottom of the decision will give you the exact date when the appeal period is up.
Okay, thank you.
all right, everybody,
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
certainly.
Welcome.
Good luck. All right, that being all the hearings on the agenda,
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'd say we could do a motion if you care to, Anna.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, well, now, we don't have another one, do we, Jen?
We don't. Our next one will be January 12th,
Okay.
I think.
Well,
I think it's January 12th. Let me just double check. Yep, January 12th.
Merry Christmas.
enjoy your holidays, everyone. May Santa
You
be
as
good
well.
to you.
You too,
thank you.
guys.
You too.
Take care.
All right,
Okay,
bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
Sorry again for being late.
No
No
worries.
problem.
We deducted it from your pay, so don't worry.
You guys will have to come in to sign the decision, so
Yes.
Nicole will be in touch on that.
Okay.
And just for the record, I've been the one signing first. I've been very responsible and diligent.
You have,
All right,
you have,
that's
yeah.
fine.
But I
have
get
to
it,
get
and I
some
put it
stuff.
in the box after I sign it.
That's it. We
Oh,
do
my
send it
God.
to Brian in the mail, and he sends it over, so.
I have to
Oh,
get
you're
there sooner.
fancy.
Well, it's either that or we wait for Brian till like 7 o'clock at night to get home from work, so.
I mean, it's now 7:30. I'm still at the office, so.
Wow.
But, all
You have
right.
at least a half-hour drive home, correct?
20 minutes, nice and easy.
And
All right,
this
thanks,
time of
everyone.
night shouldn't be bad. All right, thanks, guys.
Merry
Enjoy.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.